Just like with you, I have them sit down and go through the entire word accuracy guide and have a mark. Oh, here I need to turn my head to this guy, or there I need to stand up, or here I need to sit down. And actually write in the word accuracy guide what they're doing at each spot. And if they write it, they will tend to remember it because they had to sit there and write it.
That's true. That's true.
So that's one of the things that I have and I come to find out that I believe there's like 54 unison movements altogether.
Yes, there is.
I counted them up once.
Yeah,
and,
it's in the 50s.
Yeah, it's like 53 or 54. Yeah. But anyways, what I'll do is, as they are writing down what they're supposed to be doing when, I will have them put in parentheses, unison.
I put a U out there.
Yeah, so that way they know that's a unison movement. All the officers have to turn at the same time. And I mean, how many times, you have to look at the ER, then you have to look at the chaplain, then you have to look at the ER, then you have to look at the esquire, then you have to look at the exalted ruler, so you're going back and forth. But if the officers don't know where they're supposed to make those head movements, they're lost. And that's one of those things because, if you add a gesture and a judge doesn't like it, and it's subject to interpretation of the judge, if the judge doesn't like it, then you're going to get marked for it. If there's no gesture, he can't mark you.
Well, the chaplain can get away with it.
Yes, the chaplain, and I dare say the chaplain is probably the only one that can get away with it.
And he can get away with the A's.
Yep, absolutely. Wait for the esquire to figure out that he's in the wrong spot, and then let the esquire move. But the esquire is going to have to be alert. If that doesn't work and he calls the officer up, the lecturing knight should stand up and start doing his part. Okay. You have to remember that during the competition there are no prompts. If there are any prompts in the room whatsoever, the team is disqualified. The entire team is disqualified. Okay, so there cannot be any prompts. The only time that you're going to get a prompt is, number one, for a medical emergency, or number two, if you as an officer freeze, then the contest chairman after 3 minutes will stand up and send the esquire off to the next position. Okay, can we freeze? Okay, if you saw the leading knight, you noticed that she was looking at the esquire. He stepped back, and as soon as he stepped back, she turned her head to the new member and then stepped forward. That is the correct procedure for doing that part. And that happens at each and every one of the officers' stations. Each one of the officers need to perform that function exactly the same way as this young lady doing it right now. Okay, go ahead.
I will ballot for a worthy candidate.
I will ballot for a worthy candidate.
And against an unworthy candidate.
And against an unworthy candidate.
When proposed by another.
When proposed by another.
I will not permit any political, sectarian, or personal prejudice.
I will not permit any political, personal, or sectarian prejudice.
To influence me in the slightest degree.
To influence me in the slightest degree.
In the exercise of my right of franchise in the order.
In the exercise of right of franchise in the order.
It is the hour of recollection.
You have heard the tolling of 11 strokes. This is to impress upon you that with us, the hour of 11 has a tender significance. Wherever Elks may roam, whatever their lot in life may be, when this hour falls upon the dial of night, the great heart of Elkdom swells and throbs. It is the golden hour of recollection, the homecoming of those who wander, the mystic roll call of those who will come no more.
The civilian salute to the flag is made, standing erect, with the right hand over the heart. The voting sign is made by uplifting the right hand, palm to the front. The gavel in the hand of the exalted ruler is the emblem of authority. One rap calls the lodge to order or seats it when standing. 2 raps, call up the officers. 3 raps, call up the entire lodge. By direction of the exalted ruler, I present this new member for further instruction.
I welcome you to this station, which is dedicated to brotherly love. Upon our altar, it is symbolized by the antlers of protection. The animal from which our order derives its name is noted for gentleness and timidity. It is strong of limb, fleet of foot, quick and keen of perception.
Upon the altar before which you have just assumed the solemn obligation of our order, there lies the open Bible. It is the emblem of this station, whose motto is justice.
The emblem of this station is the flag of our country, and its motto is charity, the cornerstone of every Elk structure, the highest virtue of every Elk creed. The daily gifts we bestow increase our own riches. The help we extend to those in need is added to our own strength.
The character is left for each to choose, a villain, if we will, or person of honor, holding high above all things, high as hope's great throbbing star above the darkness of the dead. Respect for virtue and love of family and home and friend. Mid swiftly changing scenes that mark the action of the play, we, by each other oft, may be aided in our part, or from each other catch inspiration for a high resolve. And to this end exist the Brotherhood of Elks. The Order of Elks is distinctively American, linking the destiny of our order with the destiny of our country. We have made its flag the symbol of the crowning virtue. Please salute our flag.
There's a legend that in olden times a feast was laid on high Olympus for all the gods, and thither each did bear the goddess of his highest choice, until the throng had filled the mountaintop. Wealth and riches came resplendent in their robes of gold, and greed and avarice their companions were.